all appreciate it.
Don't you know we love you, sweet
Dear mama.
Hey guys, welcome back, welcome back. Allow me to introduce you guys to my mom. Her name is Altavis, and we are doing a makeup tutorial, Mother's Day makeup tutorial on her for this video. So right now I'm using the Benefit Precisely My Brow pencil in the shade number 5 to fill in her brows. They are, you know, she likes them naturally a little bit thinner, so we're just going in with like small hair-like strokes just to kind of fill them in a little bit. And at the front I just do like upward strokes so it looks a little bit more like the front of the hair, and then just brush through everything so it's a little nice and blended. Next I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade number C12, which is like just a shade lighter than her natural skin tone. And I'm using a Sigma E15 flat definer brush just to bring that down, and then I'm also going to use that same concealer all over the lid just to conceal and also prime the lids for eyeshadow. So I apply it and then go ahead and blend that all out. This is just going to add an even base to the eyelid and it gives the eyeshadow something to adhere to. Some people like to apply their eyeshadows just straight to their concealer, but I like to set mine down now because I feel like it glides on a little smoother. So I'm using the NYX HD translucent setting powder with a Sigma E50 eyeshadow brush. It's a large fluff brush, and then we're going to take the Anastasia Beverly Hills Shadow Couture palette, and this is in the shade Morocco with a Pretty Bar brush. She has really deep set eyes, which I unfortunately was not blessed with. So she has a lot of lid space and a nice amount of crease space. So I'm just using that, and then I'm going to use an Anastasia Beverly Hills A10 brush just to add the shade Fudge out into the outer corner. This clip is blurry, but this was like the only clip of me blending, unfortunately, so it did focus, but a little bit later. But I'm just applying this out into the outer corner. We're keeping her nice and natural. Neutral, I should say, not really natural, but nice and neutral. So we're going to go into the Tartelette in Bloom palette and just take that deeper kind of darker maroon with another Pretty Bar eyeshadow brush and just pack this out into the outer corner. This is just going to add a little bit more depth and definition, and then use some more of that same concealer just to cut out the crease. This just gives her eyeshadow a larger, or gives her eyelid a little bit larger of a lid space. She already has a lot of lid space, as I mentioned already, but this is just going to cut it out and give the pigment that we go in with a lot more of a tacky base, because you want your pigment to be applied either wet or onto a tacky base, so that way it sticks. This is the Collab pigment. I forget the shade. I think it's called like Glimmer or something like that. It is so stunning, you guys. It's very sparkly, very golden, but it's also very messy. So I would suggest applying this wet. I haven't tried it, but I just assumed that it would be a lot cleaner and a lot neater. And then now I'm just using eyeliner. I'm using the NYC Black Liquid Eyeliner just to draw a wing liner. You know, just wanted to spice something up a little bit, give her something a little bit different than what she normally does. I think she just does like a line across the lash line, if she even does that. But we're going to move on to the face, and we're using the La Roche-Posay and Thelios Daily Anti-Aging Primer with Sunscreen. So it's protecting her, but it's also going to fill in the pores. It's really, really nice. She does have really large pores in the cheek area, as do I. So I'm just applying that onto the center of the forehead, pretty much the center of the face, just to prime. And then for foundation, we're going to pop on lashes. These are just some lashes that I received from Amazon. And then we are going to move back to the face. So for the foundation, I'm using the Dermablend Flawless Creator Multi-Use Liquid Pigment. These are so good, you guys. It just gives everyone's face a flawless finish. This is the shade, I believe, 50W. She decided she wanted to go with this one as opposed to the darker one. I was leaning more towards the darker one, but she was like, no, this is it, this is it, this is it. So we went with that, and then we went in with the Maybelline Dream Lumi Concealer in the shade Honey Mayel. Love, love, love this concealer. It's very, very hydrating, very moisturizing, but it's also a brightening pen, so it's more so for highlighting the face, which is what we did. And then we're just going to blend all of that out with our beauty blender just to kind of, you know, pounce it in and make sure everything looks nice and blended. I would have preferred to go just a shade lighter on the concealer, but I didn't want to do her too bright and too extra because she doesn't like that, but I made her as extra as I possibly could. So I just used the KKW KKW brightening powder. This is the baking powder. It's in the shade number 3. So I use this to kind of lighten and brighten it a little bit, just to further highlight her face and highlight the high points. And I'm also just using a beauty blender to do so. So I'm just going to press it and leave a little bit onto her nose and underneath of the eyes, just to kind of set that and bake that a little bit, since she is a little bit more oily. And then we're going to contour with the Nikki Gear contouring palette. This is in the shade medium, and I'm just going to use a Sigma like powder brush just to go around the perimeter of the face, just to add a little bit more structure, a little bit more definition around the perimeter of the face. And then we are going to contour the nose. My mom doesn't really like to contour her nose because she feels like she has a long nose, but I personally don't feel like she does. But I just went along the sides just a little bit because I literally do it for every single client. So I just contour down the side, and I also use the It's My Ray Ray palette, the middle contour shade for that, so it wasn't too light. And then I go in with this Jordana blush. It's called Coral Crush, I believe. It's really pretty. It's really flattering on her skin tone, with a Sigma blush brush. And then we're going to highlight the skin, and we're using the Shayla ColourPop highlighter. This is in the shade Booming, which Booming, it wasn't as popping on her skin. Like, it's really bright on my skin, but I didn't really feel like it was on her skin. So I also went in with some of the Resi ABH highlighter just over the top, just like right on the cheekbone, so that way it looks a little bit more poppin', because like I said, it wasn't that booming. Not on her skin tone, at least. Maybe if she was like a shade, a hair or two darker. But right now I'm just going along the side of the nose with a little bit more of that KKW powder, just to further slim it down. Although she doesn't like this, this is just what I like to do for all my clients, so that's what I did. And then I'm taking some, I think this is the ABH brow powder in the shade Ebony, just on the brows, just to fill them in, since sometimes when you apply the foundation it kind of lightens them a little bit and makes them more sparse. So I just go in with the powder just to kind of set it and kind of, you know, do all of that. Now I'm using the Cover FX Illuminating Setting Spray. It's a very fine mist, so I sprayed quite a bit. And then I also went in with the MAC Fix Plus spray that I had a little bit of a like shimmery highlighter in. And then here I am applying some of the Resi highlighter into the inner corner, just to make it a little bit lighter and to also pop on the inner corner. I did apply mascara to her lower lash line. So now we're going to move on to the lips, and we're using the Lime Crime Matte liquid lipstick in the shade Salem, which is kind of like a, it's kind of like a red brick brown. It's really pretty, but she felt like she was dated. I felt like once I put this on, it just completed the look. It gave me like really, I don't know, it just looked good in my opinion. So she didn't really like it, so I ended up going in with a CoverGirl liquid lipstick. I forget the shade. It was a part of the Queen collection, but it was a little bit lighter. So we went in with that, blended that a little bit, and it gave it more of like an ombre look. And then that completes our look, you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed meeting my mother. She has been wanting to get on the YouTube channel for the longest time, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for our little transformation, because I transformed her into me at the end. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh my God, it looks like my hair.
Is that or not?
Oh, are you gonna show the drab one too?
Yeah, I think so.
And then be like, now,
Y'all really look like twins for
We
real.
don't look like twins.
Yes, y'all do.
Similar.
No,
She is
very
your
similar.
twin.
But this
No,
right here,
right there
made me
make her
look like,
look just like that makeup.
this ain't the wig I wore to
Yes, it
that
is.
party. No,
Yes,
it's not.
it is. Yes, it is. Do you want me to go to the picture?
You just had to push back.
Yeah, this is the wig.
Oh, I'm like his mother. Oh my God. Jack, don't see what your woman gonna look like it. I'm talking about
dead.
like
I'm dead.
Ooh.
Who is that?
Ooh, this scary, ain't
Look
it?
in the camera. Who is that?
That's a little scary. Jack, I threw the